Why are tour players like Rory McIlroy and Scottie Scheffler still using the QI10 by TaylorMade over the brand new QI35? Well, I'm here to get some answers today, as I have both the QI35 and the QI10. Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy, they use the standard QI10, but I'm using both the LSs in both the lineups. So the QI10 driver, what is so special about it? So I looked it up. I did some research. Now, people say that this driver is amazing for its forgiveness level of off-centered hits due to the third generation of 60-layered carbon fiber face. The QI10 LS is made for the highly skilled players, as the tour players and as the scratch golfers. It is known for its workability, being able to control each shot and where it goes, how far it moves, and the trajectory of each drive. The LS stands for low spin. So this is the low spin model to where it's going to go further. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the forgiveness level as the standard or the max does. This is a very good test because the LS versions of both are for the better players, the players who know how to hit the golf ball, how to score on the golf course. Okay, time to go over the QI35 LS now. The QI35, it is highly regarded for its exceptional distance potential and the advanced features provided for skilled players. Now, this driver is known to be one of the fastest drivers released in 2025, claiming to have an extra 2 to 3 miles an hour faster ball speed, giving it an extra total of 5 to 10 miles an hour of carry distance. We're obviously going to put that to the test today because that is a big claim. This driver claims to give the player raw distance due to its low center of gravity, which allows the club to naturally gain speed as it comes down, even if the player does not have the strength to give it the speed. A lot of claims. Now, it also claims to reduce the spin all the way down to 2,300 RPMs, which is perfect for a driver that is swinging faster than 100 miles an hour. There are a lot of claims between these two drivers, and I do think they're both probably very good drivers. I want to test to see, though, how good they actually are and how they compare to each other. I want to go over the looks of each driver first. Now, let's go over the QI10. The QI10 has that glossy finish on the top with the carbon fiber crown, with also the blue carbon fiber face with 60 layers. So they did a red face in the Stealth series, and I was not a huge fan of that. But the blue face, I have to say, I wasn't sure about it, but I think it's kind of growing on me. The bottom of it, I think, looks very clean. Now, this LS model has a weight that you can move back and forth to make it draw biased or fade biased, depending on what kind of shot you need to hit. Just like all the drivers nowadays, it has that speed pocket behind the face to give it that extra performance, that extra little bit of speed it can possibly give you to make the ball go a little bit further. Overall, I think this driver looks very, very good, especially behind the ball. I really love how it sits too. It gives me the confidence to hit a good drive and to possibly hit it in the center of the face. QI35. You guys, if you've seen my videos, you know I love the look of this driver. I love the matte finish with the gray carbon fiber on the top as the crown. Love the black carbon fiber face that they did with the white little rim that's going along the crown there. Bottom of it, I think the little green highlights, the shape of it, the color concept is just lovely. I think it's a great looking driver. Behind the ball, I also love how it looks. I think it gives me the confidence to hit a good drive as well. Now, this one does not include adjustable weights where you can slide it back and forth, although it does have weights that you can take out and replace with more weight or less weight depending on what you want the driver to do. There's only one thing left to do now, and that's actually test the drivers. Now, I'm going to be hitting a multitude of shots with each, and I'm going to give you guys the very best data that I can. The QI10 is up first. I have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in that. Not a very good swing, but more to come. It did sound a little bit funky though. It sounded kind of like just like a weird thud, I don't know, it sounded interesting. hit more shots, get more data. Now I have the brand new QI35. It does sound a lot different than the QI10, which I kind of like the sound of it a little bit better. It sounds more like silenced in a way, like thud. I don't know, I said the QI10 sounded like a thud too, but this is like a different, like silenced thud. I don't know, hard to explain, but I like the sound of this one better. Both models hit. I hit 10 shots with each. Now it's time to compare the data. Okay, let's look at forgiveness and dispersion here. So the green, those are all the QI35. The red are the QI10. The QI10 I missed way more often to the right than I did with the QI35, which I missed more often way to the left. I mean, that dispersion right there, that's very little. And then I have one over on the right side of this line, which is actually kind of interesting to me. I'm going to start off with averages, and then I'm going to get to my individual shots, the ones I hit the best versus the ones that I absolutely mishit. The top one was the QI10, the bottom one was the QI35. So the QI10, I had 160 miles an hour ball speed compared to the QI35, which I had 161, which was a whole mile an hour faster, which is interesting because it's not that 2 to 3 miles an hour faster on average compared to the other drivers. Now, it did say compared to the drivers released in 2025, but I only gained a mile an hour faster. Okay, let's look at the spin rate here. So the spin rate, that is really, really high. I did hit a lot of fades and slices with this, but that is very high. Now this did maintain the 2400, which it said on average is the 2300, but I'd say that's pretty close. I would take that spin rate. That's a very good spin rate. The QI10 is actually very high, and I think there's a reason for that, but let's get into that in a second. So the carry and total distance, the average is actually pretty drastically changed. I have an extra 13 yards of carry distance with the QI35 compared to what I had with the QI10. That's actually pretty crazy. That's a pretty big difference right there, especially for also having the same exact ball speed pretty much. That is a big difference. Okay, so the forgiveness level between these two drivers, I do say that the QI35 does have a little bit more forgiveness. I mean, I did hit some very bad drives tonight. Again, I want the driver that I can miss hit and it still be far and in the middle of the fairway. And the QI10 just didn't do that for me. I also need to show you guys something that I thought that was pretty interesting between these two drivers. So my club head speed, I got 2 miles an hour faster with the QI35. Now this is also kind of weird. My average smash factor with each driver, I had a little bit more with QI10, which is better, which is a lot better, which is actually very interesting to me. So with all that data, all that information that I just laid on you guys, is the QI35 better than last year's model? Now in the LS version, I do think it is. I think it is an improvement than last year's model. I think it is more forgiving. It does produce faster club head speed, and the distance was actually pretty similar. Like, it wasn't a huge dispersion. The most distance I got with it was like 287 yards of carry distance, and the least I got with it was like 269, which I would take that dispersion all day long. Whereas the QI10, I had a total of 60 yards of difference in my carry distance between my best drive and my worst drive. Now guys, I just want to make it clear, I am not a tour pro. I am not an unbelievable player. I can play some good golf sometimes. So these numbers that I provide, they're very good for the average audience, the average golfer out there. Is the LS worth buying? I think golfers anywhere from 3 handicap and lower should definitely go with the LS model all day long. All day long. And I even had the standard model for a little bit, and my spin rate was just way too high. I had to get rid of it, and I had to get an LS in my hand. With the LS models, I hope you guys did enjoy. I think the QI35 did take the win in this video. Very, very interesting. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I enjoy doing this, so leave a comment down below what tests you guys want me to do. Like and subscribe, that way you guys don't miss a beat. Jesus loves you guys. Trust God, bro. I'll see you next time.